What's going on, everybody? You know what's happening, man. We back with another episode of the Loud and Clear podcast. You feel me? It's no guest today, so you know we just live with the gang.
Yeah. We said.
Hey,
Cool. I'm cool. You good?
Yeah.
Work. To me, I feel work. See me do me dirt. So me by that work. When you walk a line. In the cafe, trying me, I deserve it. Nothing to have you lurking.
Yeah.
You make a like, now you don't like it. You know I dealt with you the nicest. Nobody touched me in the righteous. Nobody text me in a crisis. I believe that all of your dreams are duration. You took my heart, all my keys, and my patience. You took my heart, I must leave a decoration. You mistaken my love, I brought for you for foundation. All that I wanted from you was to give me some.
We just went straight to winter. Like, I just don't understand.
Yeah, winter came.
What happened to the warm weather? Like,
Summer said, September.
Like,
I'm out.
Ain't my job.
I'm out. I'm off the clock. I did my bid. I'm out. Like, that's it.
yo, did not waste no time.
Nah, it's supposed to be 70 tomorrow.
We'll see. Yo, we about to talk about some disturbing stuff today.
Oh, I guess viewer discretion advised. No flash time.
Not for kids.
Okay, like, we about to talk about this nigga Jeff.
Oh, I'm about to disrespect him all real bad.
We about to talk about this nigga Jeff. Like, did y'all watch it?
No, I didn't get to watch it yet.
I did.
She ain't get to watch it. I'm not watching that shit. It's not for me.
I'm watching it.
It ain't for me.
Yo, that shit right there. It wasn't even like, everybody was so dramatic. Y'all always hype up everything. Like,
Look, I watch Criminal Minds and shit like that. You feel me? So motherfuckers just seeing like these little murder shows and shit like
Right.
that. You feel me? Like, it's,
but like, yeah, like that's kind of what it was giving, like that type of gruesome, I guess you could say. But like, y'all was being so dramatic, like, oh my gosh, this shit is so nasty, so disgusting.
I mean, some people faint hearted. Like, you just gotta remember that.
But it's like, it wasn't even showing enough to where it was like, it would probably show like the after effect, like the nigga laying on the bed or something. But it didn't show like exactly what was going on, what was happening. So I feel like everybody was just so dramatic. Like, I was just chilling, watching that shit.
I'm crying.
Like, why? Like, it was like a show for real. Like, it almost made me forget, like, this is real. Like, it's really a nigga that was out here doing this shit. Like, and I don't know if I like the way that they portrayed him, because I really honestly feel like he was not like that in real life. Because, alright, first of all, this whole series would have been totally different if this nigga was black. Let's just say that, okay? Like, all this extra shit would not have gone on. When that neighbor kept calling over and over, they would have been came and checked everything out.
Yeah, of course.
Like, you feel like, what?
Like, they would have, like, you feel me? There was a whole moment where a nigga escaped from him, you feel me? And he got to two females, and the females were trying to tell the cops.
That's
like,
what I'm talking about.
Like, this real. Like, I read this shit. Like, fuck the show. Like, I read this shit. And the females tried to tell the cops. You feel me?
That's the nigga that kept calling.
Yeah, they tried to tell the cops like, no, something not right here. You feel me? Because he was drugged up. Boy had drilled a hole in his head. There's some more shit, like some weird shit. You feel me? And the police was like, and he good. Like that day his gay lover and
like,
was making fun of them and all this other weird shit. Like, instead of actually investigating. But you know, if it was a black boy, they'd be like, oh, well, it seemed like it's some weird shit going on. Like, you see, he right here and he came outside, like, nah, that's just my, he escaped, you feel me? That's my lover and whatever. Nah, we what's going on here? Probably killed him, like, probably murdered him, like, on some real shit.
Put your hands up now. Like, that's exactly how they would have been. Put your hands up now.
But I ain't gonna front though, they put that story out now and I felt no sympathy for that nigga neither. Like, oh, wait.
Yeah, no, of course. But I'm just saying, like, it all could have been avoided. Like, point blank period. It could have been avoided, and that shit, that's what makes it real sad, is the fact that it could have been avoided.
I mean, some of it.
Yeah. What parts? What you mean some of it? I feel like
because,
all of it.
Like, at the end of the day. Yeah, but like, it's not like it's not like niggas knew from like his first murder, like. Nobody really suspected him of shit.
Yeah, but that wasn't his first victim. If they would have just tracked it back all them times or whatever, from that victim right there, everybody after him could have been avoided.
Yeah, it's a fact.
Alright, cool, yes. Then I agree with that. Everybody after him could have been avoided, but before him, no, he was just, yeah. That's just some sick shit. Like, who really sits there and be like, yeah, I wonder what you taste like. Like, what? Okay.
I mean, not to make excuses for him and shit, but the shit I read said, like, he was normal, and then I think he had, like, some kind of autoimmune disease or some shit like that. And he got surgery, and after the surgery, like, he was real weird, like, killing animals and all kinds of shit. And his parents, like, split, and like, I don't know.
Yeah, see, like, it's just so many different stories, and I feel like nobody's gonna know the truth because he's gone. So at this point, because if that's the case, because on the show they were saying that he started cutting up animals and shit with his dad when he was just a little ass kid.
I mean, but that's hunting and shit like that. Like, butchers do that shit, you feel me? Like, if a family butcher would, like, start showing his kid, like, yo, this is how you cut up cows, this is how you cut up pork, like, this is how you do the job that I do at work, you feel me? Nigga not just gonna automatically be like, oh, well, what you taste like that, Dad?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm crying, like, that shit is just so crazy. That shit is
not an excuse. They be trying to cap anything up for this nigga. I don't
like,
know.
for real.
Is it his mom fault? His dad fault? Who y'all blame? Jeff?
The person that did this shit.
Who the fuck did it?
So that ties into my question of, do y'all feel like how you was raised has an effect on your actions later on in life?
Partially. Everything has an effect on how you are later on in life. Like, it's nurture nature, you feel me, and yourself, because that's what they call it, you feel me. Is it nurture or nature, you feel me? Like, your environment or how you were brought up, you feel me? And it's everything, because the lessons that you learn from your parents and shit like that might not be the same things that you learn out in the world and in your environment and shit like that, you feel me? And it's all about how you apply it to yourself, you feel me? Because everybody, like, a lot of people that I know go through a lot of the same shit, you feel me? But everybody applies themselves differently to the situation. So how you come out of it in the end of it is basically just you feel me? Like, what's your mindset, your heart, you feel me? How you gonna move your spirit for real? That's how I see it.
Yeah, pretty much the same thing, because you feel me? The way you was raised and the stuff that you go through as a kid growing up, that's always gonna be like your foundation in a sense. So you always gonna have that with you. But it's, you learn, you grow, you experience shit, you gonna be a different person. So it's just about what you learn from them experiences and how you manage it, whether you take it the right way or the wrong way.
Yeah, that nigga got surgery and decided to start cutting motherfuckers up. He was like, yeah, man, they fixed my back, so let me fix your back. A piece of that.
I'm not giving you a piece of
that. I don't know. Like, I feel like that applies to a certain, like, what makes you want to become a murderer? Like, you feel me? Like, what can you?
You can only ask. These are only questions you can ask like a serial killer. Because some people, it's a difference between it. Because it's a lot of murderers, and some murderers got real fucking motive for why they kill somebody. You feel me? But it's the difference between that. What would make you want to just serially kill people for absolutely no reason? That's the question you have to ask a serial killer. Because absolutely nobody.
I don't know to ask them, but I just feel like it don't make no sense.
I don't know if I want to ask them. No,
I'm definitely not about to
we do this podcast shit. We gotta get on some journalism. You feel me?
What's up?
You don't want to go into a prison. You feel me? And talk to
a little prison buddy,
real quick.
A little prison pen pal.
We sit in front of them with the camera and shit, ask some questions. You feel me? Figure out, like, pick their brain and shit. I would do that. You feel me? Especially because the police gonna be right there. And I ain't no whore. You try to kill me in that bitch, I'm gonna punch you in your fucking mouth because you chained up and all this weird shit. Like, I'm knocking the fuck out. Try to serial kill me. No, they not neither, because it's self-defense. I know this nigga's a murderer. I could be jumping if I want.
I'm crying.
But yeah. Listen, we could do letters. You feel me?
Speaking of letters, like, it's just crazy to me how this nigga ended up having fans. Like, some of y'all really just as crazy as he is for doing some shit like that. Y'all sending cards, money, all this extra shit. and gonna make a comic book about him. Like what? Like what kind of sick ass shit is that?
Some people just weird, bro.
Like
they'll never
that people be into.
They'll never ever in their life like really show their true colors out in the world though, so motherfuckers can pick them out. And I ain't gonna say it on here, but you know what we do, you know.
I'm crying. That's crazy. But it goes to show like you don't really know who people are. Like he was picking out people from a club, and you know he seemed genuine or whatever, just vibing, da 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 da. I mean, all right. Cause I don't know if he was really like, once again, I don't know if they portrayed him right. Like, I don't know if he was really like that in real life. But it was just like some shit like was red flags from the jump. Like,
nah, certain victims like that they did interview that I read and shit like that. Certain victims were saying like he was a real charming dude, like he was handsome, all kinds of shit like that. You feel me? Like, so it was hard to really decipher that shit. Like, it really be like, oh shit, this nigga's bugged the fuck out. Like, so if the show portrayed him as that, like I believe it, you feel me? Like, and it's, to be honest, when you really look at the backstory of a lot of serial killers and shit like that, a lot of them be like real attractive people that are like charming and they real manipulative and shit like that. Like they have certain aspects of themselves that you can just pinpoint out if you a smart enough person. I'm not even gonna say a smart enough person because it's certain shit that I was taught. Cause I got into psychology when in high school, and that was one class that I actually like was like I fuck with this shit. Like I would study this outside of school. But he has those same traits. You feel me?
right. That shit just scary because you just never know. Like, and that's just a risk we take every day. And we don't even realize how much of a risk that is to meet new people, like...
Yeah. Cause you can go out somewhere and meet somebody, and that be it. But...
Yo, real shit, that shit's so sad. Like, that goes back to Uber. Like, we really just be out here hopping in strangers' cars, like, that shit crazy.
They gonna be like, let me just turn this navigation off.
Yo, that's...
I ain't gonna fuck you know. I don't. When I'm in the middle of if I'm ever in an Uber, I don't sit in the seat like behind the shit. I sit in the middle so I can see that shit on your dashboard and I can see every turn you making this shit like that. My headphones might be on, but that shit is low. Like,
don't let it be
bullshit happen. We both
road. I'm checking. I don't give a fuck if you see me or not. I'm looking behind me. What the fuck? Like,
some shit is happening. I'm telling you. We crashing out together, my nigga.
No real shit.
Your car is definitely
I'm not going out like that. Like, I'm not going out like that. Like, we's about to be fighting for our lives. Oh, kill me. Let's go.
Yeah,
like,
let's go.
Let's do what we about to do.
We gonna flip this bitch, bro. Like, we gonna flip this bitch.
Somebody gonna see us wrestling, tussling.
What the fuck is going on over there?
Yo,
Excuse me, officer. What the fuck is going on over there?
And that's another thing, like, most people be minding their business. Like, this lady, like, she really kept calling. And I'm glad, well, I can't even say I'm glad because it didn't do nothing. Like, it literally didn't do nothing at all. But that's why people don't be speaking up now. Like, that was just not a good example to put out in the world. Like,
yeah, that shit's
motherfuckers
bad.
do not be speaking up, and y'all should. But that example right there is just like, what's the point? But no, like, y'all should not have that mindset. And I hope nobody does, to be honest.
The one person I do want to say something about in these stories that I don't want to disrespect, but I do want to say to people, because this nigga, instead of going and talking to somebody else and doing what was smart, he knew who the fuck Jeffery was because of what he did to his brother previously, and went to this nigga anyway, and then told the nigga that he knew who he was. Never do that.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck how bold or brave you think you is. Like, unless you're going over there with the fucking tech and you about to end that shit right then and there, it ain't even no point going over there. You feel me? Like, you go ahead, let somebody know what the fuck happened. Get yourself some help. You feel me? Get your family some help, and then you feel me? Y'all handle that because y'all know what happened. And you feel me? Yeah.
That should be annoying in movies. I ain't know what you did. You don't got a gun. You ain't called backup. You don't have a friend. Nobody on the way.
All you got is mouth. Oh, you got
and then the thing about it is they go chill with them and be friendly with the nigga and all that shit. Like, and this is just regular TV show shit. Go be friendly with the nigga and all that shit, and then they get alone and they be like, yeah, man, so I remember you.
I know what you did. Like,
I remember you. I remember what you did. I remember you. Niggas be like, what are you talking about? Giving you an opportunity and shit. What? I remember you. Then they get up. Then you see the killer get up and start moving real slow and shit like that. Like, what the fuck is you talking? They get ready to reach for some shit. I don't even know what you need. Nah, cause I remember the time with my cousin.
And you're
now you done up. Like, now you the nigga. Now you not remember. Like, you remember him, but don't nobody remember you because your dumb ass want to go over there and remember.
And he's still living life. Like, that is.
If you remember,
so dumb.
Get somebody to do some shit.
You need to go to remember.
I'm being real. This is the thing. You know what people is stupid about? Niggas always go to the cops, and you can hire a private investigator. And private investigators would get hella bread for just for breaking those types of stories and shit like that. They wouldn't even charge you that much simply because of the commission that they would get for finding out some shit like that.
I feel like private investigators are pointless. I'm not gonna lie to you, because anything they can find out, I would probably find out too.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, they got access to more shit than you, so they actually be able to do something about it. Like, most private investigators is people that either used to be cops or military or some shit of that nature, you feel me, that got an investigative background, that got them type of connections to be able to call in, hey, chief, yo, I just found out some shit. I know this will help your whole department, you feel me? Like, this motherfucker out here murdering people, eating them, like this is a big ass story. Like,
eating them.
I got pictures, video, voice, everything you need to go in there and lock that motherfucker up immediately. And if he twitch wrong, shoot him. I'm trying to tell you, like,
that is crazy. Like, this man really was eating people. And there's people out there that still probably doing shit to this day, like cannibalism.
Guaranteed, there's definitely people that do that shit, but they're very, very hidden.
Man, better not come over here with that shit.
That's all I'm saying, yo.
Like, I ever seen some crazy ass shit like that. Oh my god.
I'm like, yo, what the fuck is you doing?
Exactly why I'm traveling along.
All I'm saying is, I don't see no people that look like this doing that type of shit.
I was thinking the same shit.
And I also don't really see that shit in the hood all like that.
Think about it though.
We're not going to say that. You probably know what I'm about to say.
That was some drug shit.
But it's like 2%. If you do know anybody, it's like 2%. Like,
that was some drug shit. Like, motherfuckers got.
It's really rare.
Yeah, definitely
But
happened.
I'm saying like 2%. Joppa.
Yeah. This was.
I know the nigga.
This was.
Like, I know exactly who it is. Like, I know the nigga. I'm not gonna reveal nobody's names and shit like that. But yeah, that was some drug shit. Like, motherfucker got laced with some shit and started bugging the fuck out. And yeah. So I understand what you're saying, but that nigga was doing that shit because that was his lifestyle. Because he wanted to live like that. Like.
Yeah. And then it's like, I tried to like, not understand it, because I'm never gonna understand it, but like, I tried to like, say like, well, because he kept saying, he can't help it, he can't help it, he can't help it, like, it's just something in him. He tried to stop, you know, he went like 9 months or a couple years or whatever without doing it, And I'm just like, damn, that's like when people be addicted to drinking or addicted to drugs or whatever, but it's like, that's just a whole other level. Like, I can't understand the action, but I guess I can understand the addiction. Like, you're addicted to something. But I can't understand him actually being addicted to eating people.
Yeah.
But it's just the whole, I don't know, like, they tried to study this man's brain, but I don't feel like that would have did shit. Cause what the fuck? Like, you can't tell me it was something like wired in his brain.
I feel like, I mean, it could have been. It could have been.
I'm not gonna. It definitely is something like wired in serial killers' brains that are wired different than ours. And you can always like. There's even people that are like if you study them well enough, they are like on the brink of possibly being a psychopath or some shit like that. You feel me?
I just feel like those are excuses too.
It's not. It's really not though. It's not an excuse. It's like, I mean, are they bad people? Yeah, but it is something different about them than it is us.
Because they could basically use that in court, like, it's not me.
But
I'm wired different. Like,
I mean,
what, boy? Get the fuck out of my face.
If you had the right lawyer.
Yeah.
Me, but I'm not doing that shit.
I'm crying off the road though, like definitely gonna use that in court. Like, it wasn't my fault. It wasn't me. Like what? Okay.
I mean, it is you.
You just
because at the end of the day, even the people that are on the brink, you have the option to either go fully to that side and become a fucking full psychopath and start killing people, or you can figure out how to help yourself and control that shit and do something about it. And most people, obviously, go the easy route. I'm killing motherfuckers.
I could agree with that, just because his dad did say, like, I don't know if that's real, that was just thrown in there, but his dad was like, I used to have the same thoughts, blah blah blah, but his dad never acted on it. So maybe it can have something to do with, like, I don't know, like having a little bit of the same genes as your father. He got the thoughts, but he could control it and you couldn't. I don't fucking know, but that's what they said in the movie. Once again, I don't know how real that part is, because movies be...
They exaggerate shit.
Yeah, like, we trying to throw stuff in there. Like, that didn't even happen. Like, what? Like, where was I at for that part? I didn't like how they tried to write books and make money off that shit. Like,
and that's what the whole thing was about. Cause they done made stories about this about the third time they done made something movie or TV related about Jeffrey Dahmer, bro.
And I'm trying to figure out why he's so hyped up now, because I thought this shit was recent. I'm like, oh, alright, come to find out this shit happened before I was even born. Like,
nah, they just like they know certain shit. I know that one of the movies did real good back in the day, so I know they just be feeling like, all right, what's the next thing we could take advantage of? You feel me?
Yeah, that's like how
so
they be
Jeffrey back.
like how they be remaking like Disney movies and stuff like that, and like the shows.
Yes. What's the next thing? What's the next thing we could take advantage of? Like, you see what Natalie and them niggas did? That shit was like, yo, reality TV then died off pretty much. You feel me? It's just love and hip hop. What we gonna do about that? How we gonna take advantage of that?
I'm crying.
Create Zeus, hell reality TV shows. Now motherfuckers boxing every day. Like,
it's entertaining, but like, but I do feel like we need to stop entertaining it, cause like I be watching that shit. That's why I say it's entertaining, but definitely need to stop, because it's just like I had watched this one girl. She was talking about Bad Girls Club or whatever. And the points that she was making was just like so valid, and it was like we just entertained the wrong shit. Like this Jeffrey shit should not have gone viral on Instagram like that. Like, it was not that deep. Yo, what?
So
and that's
negative.
the only reason I caved in. It was because it was like TikToks or the sounds. Like, y'all be mad.
I ain't gonna front. You know how
memes, everything. I'm like, what the?
You know how many times that shit happens though, and I just avoid all that shit. Popeye's chicken sandwich. I still ain't to this day try to Popeye's chicken sandwich. Fucking.
I did, because I was working there.
Stranger Things, when it blew up all crazy, I still ain't watched the episode of Stranger Things.
Yeah, I never watched that.
I think that's hot, probably. I've never.
It's another one. That's Stranger Things that I've never watched.
What is it? Squid Games.
No,
that shit hit the internet all crazy. I never watched that.
Oh, Pretty Little Lies. That's what I was about to say. I've never watched that, but everybody like that.
Like, it just certain shit, and that's what I was just talking about that. I was literally just talking about that the other day. Like, the internet popularizes so much bullshit, and it's because y'all let it popularize the bullshit. Like, y'all don't never let nothing good come out of shit. Y'all will boost up bullshit ass TV shows, some shit like that ain't gonna have no effect on your life. But there's some real shit that's going on, or some real shit that you see you skipping straight past and swipe.
Real shit.
Let an ad come on in the middle while somebody talking about some real shit, swipe. You don't even get to finish their thought. Bad shit, bro. But back to Jeff. I'm glad that nigga died. I don't want to say shout out to the nigga that did it, you feel me? Because I don't know what you did to be in jail.
No, for real. Like, I didn't even think about that. Like, you talk about everybody else, I'm talking about you, sir. Like, what was you doing?
I don't know what you did to be in jail, but good shit for mopping that nigga, you feel me? Like, nigga said, you was doing what?
For
They about
real.
to put you where? Yeah, only yourself, buddy, and so mop.
And I wonder if he was as crazy as they made him seem, because that nigga was crazy as fuck. Like, I was like, what the fuck?
The
Like,
nigga that killed him?
yeah, he was like, he killed somebody before he had killed him to get to him. And he was like, don't worry about him. He killed his wife and tried to bring it on 2 niggas. He was a white guy. And I was like, alright. I wasn't tripping about evil. I wasn't tripping about evil. Like, fuck it. Like, he gone. But then he just went on to Jeff to kill Jeff. And now that Danny just said what he said, I'm thinking about it like he was killing everybody because of what they did. But what did you do? You worried about everybody else. What did you do?
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know what the fuck you did to be in jail, buddy. Like I said, so I ain't shouting you out for shit. But, you know, appreciate you for taking Jeff up out of here, you feel me?
that shit funny. And that man prayed about it and everything, talking about some God to him. That's why I was like, I don't know if he really crazy like this or what.
Yeah, he probably bugged out.
No, then prayed after he killed him.
What?
He probably them type of niggas be already having life sentences though. Like that nigga probably already wasn't getting out or some shit like that. You feel me? And was just like, you know what? No matter what I do, they ain't gonna do shit but put me in a hole for a couple weeks. Me.
That's the scariest part about jail. Like some niggas don't got shit to lose, so it's up. That nigga was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. He was trying to get the Jeff. Like, you feel me? He had no beef or nothing, and he just.
What was he like? Standing in his way?
No, it was both at work. What's that called? When they gotta go to work or whatever? I think that's called like, I don't know, work time? Something. I don't fucking know. But yeah, they had to go to work. So they was in the room. The security guard left out. You already knew what was about to happen. When they fucking leave out, that nigga paid him off. Left out. He killed the other nigga because the nigga was like, all right, we're going to show you in the bathroom how to do whatever. And so he killed him while he was in there. Jeff heard that. He said, up. He already knew it was about to be his time. Like, so yeah. And that's another scary
and that's
thing.
another
Like,
thing
you don't know
about
if you got protection or not. Like,
nah, that nigga Jeff, you know what the thing about him was too? He was like, shit that I read was saying that he was always saying shit like he had a connection with death or some shit like that. Like, probably why that nigga knew his time was coming.
but I don't know. Like, I wonder if he was really remorseful in real life because he seemed remorseful.
Fuck no, because if he was remorseful, he would have stopped.
And he got saved while he was in jail. I was like, y'all always want to wait till y'all get in jail. Like,
Yeah.
fuck, like, for real, it be people, they be turning Muslim, they want to become a Christian.
It's all because they know, like 9 times out of 10, most of them people, I don't really say too much about the motherfuckers that get like 4, 5, 6 years or whatever, some shit like that. But most of them people, they do that shit because they know they're gonna die in there.
Oh, I know the Muslim one is for protection.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of people do that
I
shit
heard that
because,
shit.
Because the Muslims will have your fucking back.
That shit crazy though. It's really crazy.
All in all, fuck Jeff Dahmer. You feel me?
No, for real. I'm about to read this quote real quick because it really stood out to me. It's not a quote. It was a line from one of the cops that I just jotted down. But yeah.
Be some bad shit.
Yeah, so he was speeding or whatever. And I don't know if he had anything in the car, don't quote me. Like a body or something.
He probably had a body in the
he was definitely speeding or whatever, got pulled over. And then the cop was like, you're 18, I'm not gonna ruin your life by arresting you. And I jotted that down because it was just like if that was reversed, and y'all probably gonna get sick and tired of that shit, but that shit need to be brought to everybody's attention. Like, if that shit was reversed, it would not have went down like that. That nigga would have got arrested, car would have got searched, would have found all that shit, he would have been arrested, everything would have been done for real. But the fact that you didn't do that with him, and he was an actual serial killer and probably had a body in the car.
Yeah,
That's actually, what's that, the second or third time that y'all could have stopped this man and didn't. So once again, everything could have been avoided.
You know, both of the cops that shit happened. That was negligent and shit. They had got suspended for a little bit. The motherfuckers got reinstated.
And promoted or whatever.
One of them was a captain or some other shit like that. Retired as a captain of some shit, and the other one retired as a sergeant. That shit is ridiculous.
Police have to have each other's backs.
And also, not to get back into the race thing, but Jeff killed a lot of minorities.
Definitely.
And they did absolutely shit about it. I wonder why.
But I don't know if I could agree on the fact that y'all kept saying like it was only black people.
No, it wasn't only black people.
Yeah, in the beginning it was white people that he was killing. So I don't think it was like, oh, I'm just going after black people. I just think the area he was living in.
Yeah, the area he was in was mainly
black.
populated.
Like,
he lived in the hood, I'm not gonna lie.
Facts, definitely. So
Definitely lived in the hood.
I can't really agree to that extent. I don't think he was a racist or anything like that. Like, oh, I'm just gonna eat black people. But
he ain't have enough thought process to care about who he was killing.
Yeah,
to be honest,
definitely.
I ain't gonna lie.
Definitely. That shit crazy. But yeah.
Any final remarks about Jeffrey?
That nigga crazy.
The fucker? I hate that guy, man.
I'm really stuck on the fact that I thought this shit was recent. Like,
Hey,
y'all really wild. Like, y'all just, I don't fucking know.
Didn't they do this shit a few years ago though
with Ted Bundy?
Yeah. They had Zac Efron playing Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
Oh, I actually think that popped up after this series was over.
And that shit went big. That shit went big.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate for all the negative shit. But that's all I gotta say for today. You feel me?
That's not all I got to say.
What?
Monday
Oh.
at 6 p.m. I know y'all niggas gonna be doing that. So y'all better tune in. Or we gonna have a seance called Jeffery and have him, pay you a visit.
Not pay them a visit.
I'm crying.
Alright, well then I got some questions to ask him because I kind of want to know what he did.
He ain't gonna have no answers for you.
Honestly.
This is how it was.
Yeah. No, right.
Start capping this shit. Like, you motherfucker, get out of here. Go back where you was at.
Like, what made you pick your specific victims and shit like that?
Nah, seriously though. Tune in every Monday at 6 p.m. You know we got some shit for you every time. You feel me? Shit about to get lit. Over the next few weeks, few months. You feel me? Shit about to turn up extra. We ain't even gonna get into all that. You feel me? We gonna keep that shit behind the scenes. But yeah, make sure y'all watching.
You already know what it is.
Follow the pages.
Oh, my no, bro.
Subscribe. I'm crying.
And comment below what you think about Jeffrey Dahmer. And if it's some bullshit, I'm blocking you.
Well then.
Yeah. At this point.
Not
Very
a
cool.
lot.
Nice and lovely.
You can't block the people.
What? If they serial killers, you damn right.
Listen.
Yeah.
Work. To me, I be work. See me do me dirt. Just tell me about that work. When you walk a line. In the cafe, drive me a dessert. Nothing to be lurking.
Yeah.
You make a like, now you don't like it. You know I dealt with you the nicest. Nobody touched me in the right. Nobody text me in a crisis. I believe that all of your dreams are the real.